Hi, I'd like to tell you a story if I may. It's a story you may have heard a version of this story before, but I don't think people often tell this story correctly. Yeah, I thought it'd be good to record this story for you in the garden because of all the noises of birds and all the greenery and this rather bright sunshine that seems to be sweeping over us at the moment. Rather lovely. It's the story of a race. A race. There was once a tortoise. And the tortoise was a very kindly but very ponderous, my favourite word for tortoises, ponderous kind of creature. He would walk incredibly carefully and steadily and straightforward and go. Now this tortoise was often teased by other animals for being very slow. And the tortoise decided, it's time to put an end to this. I'm going to demand a race. And he thought about who he could think of as being the fastest of the small creatures around him, and his eyes settled upon the hare. Now, if you've been over to Layham at all during March, you often see the hares racing across the fields. They are so fast. They're not like rabbits that tend to shuffle along. They really are fast, leaping and bounding, not the kind of slow, steady way of a tortoise. Well, the hare said, well, happy to give you a race, happy to give you a race. But the hare wasn't too worried about winning because he often won races and it didn't really matter whether he won or lost, but he quite enjoyed racing. He enjoyed running basically, he enjoyed leaping, running, all that kind of stuff. Well, the squirrel got the flag ready and off they went. The hare bounded into the distance, majestically leaping over things, not turning round to see the tortoise going, I'm going to win the race. I'm going to win the race. I'm going to win the race. Slowly but surely on his steady road to win the race. Well, after a while of running, the hare suddenly realised he was all alone. Oh, he thought, that's a bit strange. So he decided to take a rest. It wasn't a kind of arrogant kind of, I'm going to have a rest because I know I'm doing it. He thought, well, I might as well stop. Because one thing we don't know about the hare is the hare also likes to ponder as well. But he ponders in a very different way. He's not a kind of slow, steady going forward, but a kind of, here I am, what can I see? And the hare lay back in the lovely soft grass and looked around. He noticed some of those beautiful purple flowers you get by the side of the road. He noticed poppies beginning to come out in their lovely kind of orangey red colour. He noticed cowslips and the various different ways they grow. He'd heard the bird song, all different kinds of birds, wood pigeons through to the skylark rising up into the sky and singing gloriously for everyone to hear, even the odd honking of the geese in the river. Yep, the hare sat back, took a deep breath and looked up at the sky. A bit like today, a blue sky with a few wispy clouds. The more he looked at the clouds, the more patterns he saw. He took some deep breaths and suddenly realised, yep, this was good. This was very good. And as he listened, he heard some rather cross noises. Over there was a mole trying to come out of his hole. Mole and hole always rhymes. The mole was stuck in his hole. The hare thought for a moment and went over, got hold of the front paw of the mole and said, let me give you a hand, and tugged a little bit until the mole popped out. Thank you, said the mole. The hare also did other things while he was there. He saw various things that needed sorting and tidying. All the while, without taking any notice, the tortoise was on his way. I'm going to win the race. I'm going totally focused on the road ahead, not swerving this way nor swerving that way, totally focused on the road ahead. The hare, however, watched the tortoise go past, but was far too busy looking at all the wonderful things. Gosh, he thought, time to bound off. He bounded on ahead a bit, but again he stopped again. This time by a river, because he could see all the different patterns of the gorgeousness of the water flowing by, and the kind of lily pads, and the swans and the ducks, and wow! Stood there for a while. As he stood there, past him went the voice, "I'm going to win the race. I'm going to win the race." Well, you know what happened, don't you? You know how this ends. You know the story. When it came to the finishing line, the squirrel was there at the finishing line and waved the checkered flag as the tortoise, I want to say sped by, but no, went by in his ponderous way. Made it. Made it. Soon afterwards, the hare came tripping through. "Hey, I'm back, I'm here. I've lost." "Oh, okay. Then they had a chat, the tortoise and the hare. And the hare said, "Did you notice the clouds?" "No." "Did you see the mole stuck in a hole?" "No." "Did you hear the birds?" "No." "What about the river? What about the lily pads? What about the..." "No." What do I learn from this version of the story? Sometimes we misunderstand people. The hare wasn't worried about winning the race. The hare was quite happy to win or lose. But what the hare managed to win was an exciting understanding of the world around, because in those moments when he was doing nothing else, he stopped to pause and to wonder. It's all very important to keep going for the task. We have to do that. We have to have our minds sometimes focused forward. We have to be very careful that when we're looking forward all the time, we don't miss the beautiful things around us. So, if you're in school, maybe you might want to take a few moments just to notice the things around you. If you're listening to this at home and you can't be at school at the moment, then maybe the thing to do is to look around at the world around you and notice things. If you're with an adult, just say to them, "Have you noticed?" Because adults never notice things. We need them to point it out to us. Have you noticed? What I hope you'll do is to enjoy your day. Thank you for listening.